the Zodiac is gone. I'm going to get this to stand up by itself for a little bit. There's not much land left here. This high tide, if it gets much higher, that is highly toxic. There we go. But let's get this trap in. Okay, so here I've got some wild carrot, or Queen Anne's lace. And I can see there's older plants here beside them. And here, some old stalks. These nice young ones, that's what I'm after. So we'll definitely collect some of them. I am off for another adventure. What I want to do in this video is I want to take my Zodiac and go up this inlet, find a spot where there's a lot of driftwood, and make a really neat driftwood shelter. I am going to bring a chainsaw. My drywall shoulder has been giving me troubles, and I don't want to irritate it more using a handsaw for everything. It'll just be more convenient. Or the woods will be wet, so it'll be easier access for fire with the chainsaw. But with the Zodiac too, I want to put a crab trap in. So on top of building this shelter that I hope is going to be really cool, I'm going to do some foraging for spring plants. It's that time of year. I want to see what's available for plants. I am going to try to live off the land kinda, but use the chainsaw and the Zodiac for the crab trap. That's what I'm going to do. But that's what we're up to. Going to get the Zodiac set up. It's high tide now. It's a good time to get it in and find a spot where I've got enough wood for the shelter that I want to do. Well, something I do see that is quite prevalent here is Polystichum monotum sword fern. That's something that I don't know about you folks, but I find it irritating when I watch these videos on plant identification and foraging. And they just want to use the scientific name. They don't use the common name. It's just, I don't know why they do that. To me, it's not helping anybody learn their plants, the common names. I think they do it just to try to elevate themselves or show off, or, you know, just make out like they know more than everybody else. But it's not helping the foragers. You know, videos like that, I kind of have a scientific name for as well. Idiotic stupidium. We'll use the common names. So I'm going to do a lot of foraging this year, and I know a lot of you keep asking for it. So we're going to do some on this episode and see what we can find. Right on. Got a lot of sand in it, but it's a bit of a nuisance to put this thing together, but once it's together, it's pretty nice. It's pretty sturdy. So I don't inflate it all the way till I get the floorboards in. Well, I tell you, that didn't take long. I don't know if I can get out of here until tomorrow now. I was getting everything ready. I mean, I'm getting organized. I wanted a fishing rod. Got to bring my my rifle. There's cougars and bears. And while I was getting organized, the tide has gone way out. I don't think I can even get out of here right now. But I want to bring a pot and my coffee, flashlight in case something goes wrong, some dog food, knife and a ferro rod. I got my broken knife, you'll see why later. Measuring stick for crab, because I want to put the crab trap out. I don't think I can get out of here till the next high tide. That's crazy. I mean, the boat was floating a while ago now with these rocks. I guess it's tomorrow. Well, good morning. Haha, some bad news here. I came down. We're gonna head out and go up the beach and do our shelter today. Bad news is the Zodiac is gone. It floated away. I had it tied to a log here and they both floated away. Now, the bright side of this is, even though, okay, it's an $1,800 Zodiac, I just bought a brand new $400 electric motor for it, but I didn't leave the truck battery in it, and I took my 3030 out, but it had the crab trap. It did have stuff in it, and it's out here in the inlet floating around somewhere. I don't see it anywhere. I'm still going to do this video. I guess I'll have to walk up and look for some driftwood in a bay somewhere. This adventure's not going well so far. I can't believe it. It's the way she goes on these adventures. There's a fair amount of boat traffic here. A couple of guys came by close to shore and I yelled at them. Updated. And I flew the drone like a mile down the shore. I didn't see it with binoculars. I don't see it on the other side. So I hiked up quite a ways. Now I'm going to try flying up this way with the drone. But so far I haven't seen it with the drone even. But it'd sure be nice to find it. All I can do is look. Losing the Zodiac this morning, it's actually a typhoon, not a Zodiac, but hey, you know what I mean. It kind of put a kibosh on the day again. I might make a raft and just get out. All I got to do is go out like 100 feet to put the trap down. As long as I got a raft that'll float. Maybe somebody needed that Zodiac more than me. Wouldn't it be something if it floated out to the ocean and right past somebody's boat that was sinking and they got a Zodiac to use? That'd be quite an amazing story. Not likely. I'm just checking this spot, and I mean, there's a lot of like bigger driftwood, but a lot of this stuff is pretty big to manage. I mean, it'd make a great raft, but this is above tide line, obviously, so I would have to cut chunks and roll it down to where I could get it in the water. I even see some 2x8s. I think, you know, sometimes you just got to use what you have at hand, and I think this will work. Well, I just want to show you how high the tide got. It's no wonder the Zodiac disappeared on me. Now these rocks, and I'm going to show you in a minute, are so slippery. But you can see the water line here, and it was up under this root. And this is where I got to cross in lower tide to go where I want to build the shelter. I'm going to give you a little safety lesson here. You know, even walking carefully, this is so slippery you wouldn't believe it. Like, it's like ice. I'm slipping just trying to demonstrate it. I want to try to keep my, you know, it's about a foot of water. I don't want to walk through that, say, and people do this all the time, and it's the stupidest thing to do. You're better to get wet feet. Jumping around these rocks, even if the creek's not deep, is the most dangerous thing to do. As soon as you jump on that one, your footing goes out from under you. You smash your head on another boulder, knock yourself unconscious, and now you're face down in the creek drowning. And it's like I've said in other videos, like falling and drowning is #1 cause of fatalities in the bush. And it's usually around creeks like this that are covered in this slippery, slimy algae that is just like walking on ice, okay? Just don't even take those chances. I personally know a couple of people that happened to, even with somebody with them, and a bigger river in this, knocked themselves unconscious, floated down. When they got them out, they were drowned. So I'm going to walk carefully, and I'm not going to have both hands full when I'm crossing. I got the chain guard on here in case something happens. But even crossing this little span is tricky when things are so slippery. I want to have one free hand in case I slip to protect my fall or grab onto something. So I hope that this is above tide line. Now, it's going to be close. But I'm going to put my bed, I think, on this big log in case, you know, then I've got an extra 1.5 feet of height. It doesn't look like it comes this high, but who knows. First thing to do is make a frame, and I don't care out of what. I don't see a lot of great stuff, but I did see this piece here. This piece is basically split. And I think this would do one side. If I can break it. There we go. Okay. And I think that'll do. Because, you know, the thing is, I don't want to make the shelter too big, especially when I don't have a lot of material to deal with. So basically, tie these together. Okay, well, you're going to see a lot of boats and traffic. It's a busy inlet. Now, the handicap I have, I've got all these pieces of paracord that I grabbed off my tarps, chunks. I had a whole roll in the Zodiac. And the other thing that floated away with the Zodiac was my hatchet that I was going to nail shingles onto this shelter with. So I'll have to use a rock. Hey, improvising is cool, but it's not cool that I lost so much money in equipment. That wasn't cool. It's probably high enough. I like doing these shelter builds though, you know. But it's going to be a lot easier with a chainsaw. Let's face it. Okay, now hopefully that'll stay. It's okay if it doesn't right now. I can lie it down until I get my other one and then a cross member. Once I've got my main, oh, I see I got a shirt blowing in front of the screen here. Once I got the main frame and I got a cross member here, then it'll all stay. I'll take my cross pull like that, and then hopefully, I think this one's going to be too high, but I can spread it out. Thing is, I gotta, you'll see, I gotta try to keep them fairly similar, but mind you, it doesn't look all that bad. It'll be good. That didn't take very long to get these poles in place. I've got it tied there to this big log and tied at the bottom here, and you can see it's already sturdy, and I haven't even built the structure yet. So I'm going to leave this up until the structure is basically finished so it's stable and it doesn't fall over on me. And I'm going to cut a piece of cedar and hopefully make shakes. Completely shake this in with shakes. But I got the big blade from my broken knife, which I think I can make shakes out of. Right on. It's coming together. That was actually pretty quick to get the poles up. It wasn't as hard as I thought to find as many poles as I needed. Okay, well, I can see that this is about a foot. My ridge pole is on an angle. I am going to cut a little bit off of this. Maybe a foot. Cut most of it. There we go. Let's see if we can even get any shakes out of this. We just got a little sliver that time. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I gotta find a better piece. I'm getting holes. wherever the knots are. There's too many knots in this piece of cedar. It's splitting okay. I'm getting some, but I don't want a bunch of knots. I'm going to find a better piece. There is big cedar on the beach. We'll find one that's going to split nicer. I thought that guy might have been pulling my Zodiac, but that must be his life raft. It's got a bigger motor on it than mine. Even if I get them this wide, pretty happy. That's about 7 inches. I'll probably, you know, as I get more into the middle of the log, they're going to get wider. I got enough shakes to get started, and I grabbed a couple of alder, dead alder from over there. Make a little notch. Now, as I explained, I did bring nails for my shakes and stuff. Not as easy as a hatchet. I like these projects, you know. They're a lot of fun, satisfying. The weather's kind of holding out right now, but I know it's going to pour rain eventually, and then we can check how waterproof it is. It's going to be perfectly waterproof. It is. I already got a nail started in here. And I basically, like I say, that's going to be my first row. Doing shakes. I'm going to try to just figure out ones that fit together nice. This one's kind of all crooked. And I'm going to put them fairly tight. But as you'll see, I'm just trying to get them to sit nice. So if you got to turn it over sometimes, then that's what you got to do. And then basically with my narrow ones, because I do have narrow ones, they're going to go over top of the gaps. I just won't hammer these last two onto this board. I don't need that. Just continuing to break. And even if I would have gone with green instead of dead, it would have been stronger too. But I mean, I probably don't have to nail them on both boards. Probably just one board is probably good enough, and the other board for support. Watch my main post bust. That would be upsetting. Well, then I would just have to do the same thing. Put a splint on it. Now that I got a thicker pole, and because I don't want to nail into this one anymore on these last two boards, or anywhere, I'll use 2 nails on this board up here. And that'll keep it from moving sideways, even if it gets windy. So, you know, whether you're using bark for your shingles, I mean, this can work quite well too if you can collect enough of it. You know, you just do the same thing as what I'm doing here. And, you know, skunk cabbage leaves, I mean, I really like them. They're so much faster. I can see just by the shakes that I've cut already that this is going to take time, okay, and effort. Your skunk cabbage leaves or shakes overlapped a couple inches in line. I don't care about that, because then there's going to be another one that goes over top of the gaps. Well, I'm sure you shinglers that do roofs and stuff understand the principle, but not everybody maybe does. I wish I would have gapped it more. I got all my middle ones on, all the way on the bottom row. Before I fill in these gaps here, I got to put my next row, and then I slide them up underneath. You can see what I did here. I don't know, it's been a lot of work to just get this far, and that's only 2 rows. Well, I'm kind of huddled under my shelter that isn't finished yet, and this is why I'm not spending a couple of nights until I'm prepared with the shelter done. And I came at high tide here because this might be one of my only opportunities to get some logs for the raft in the water, and I'll show you why. It's only about 10 feet from the shelter on this side and maybe 15 on that side. There's the water, right up to here. Some of the logs are floating. And I've got this little 15-foot wide jet of land. Our log is definitely floating. I'd like to get that one cut in half. Every time I cut a log, I'm going to send it out on a rope, and hopefully it stays out so I could use it at low tide as well. I got my one log. Hopefully I can get it in. I think so. Get over there. There she goes. I'm drenched. I got 2 logs out there floating, and it looks like the tide is actually going out because where I was working over here isn't as high now. So keep a watch on these, even though I'm soaked. Make sure I get them out as far as I can, so I can work on the raft maybe tomorrow or when it's not raining. And that's solid enough. Covered the gap. I've got enough narrow ones to cover this row now. See how that just stays almost because of the pressure from the other one. But yeah, that's the idea. I mean, it's looking nice. Let's go spend a couple more hours and get more shakes cut. We've got these rows covered. Now I got a bit of a hip roof going on here, which is hip because this one cross member that I used has got a bend in it. But that's fine. I'm not even worried about that. One of the reasons, I'm sure somebody would have recognized this, that I've been having trouble cutting these shakes is a lot of it is fur. And I'm getting all these twists, uneven. But I did find 2 blocks of cedar just over here that somebody had already cut. I've cut a bunch of shakes out of that. This was a really nice piece of cedar that I found. And these longer blocks are ideal because now I don't need another pole. I'm going to go up, nail it to the bottom side of my ridge pole. My hand, it was funny the other day splitting shakes because I got lawnmower hand. And what that means is basically, you know, when you push a lawnmower for an hour or 2 hours and your hands are vibrating and tingling and everything. That's what I got from pounding the rock and getting the shakes. It's kind of similar to Edward scissor hands, but way different. Okay, let's carry on. I'm almost done the one side. With my last row, I've already got most of them on. I can slide these under as long as they're overlapped. It doesn't matter, over, under, whatever. And then you'll see for my ridge pole what I'm going to do later too. So I am building a square frame for the other side of the shelter. Like, I know the backside is nice and covered, okay? Now what I want my ocean view. I want this to be able to lift up if it's not raining. If it's raining hard, just put it down. And I still have to put an end, at least have one end. So if it's blowing from one side or the other, I want it detachable. So if it's raining windy from this side, put it on this side. If it's raining windy the other way, put it on the other side. It's looking like rain again. And I don't have enough shakes to finish this thing, this square piece. Do what I can with what I got for now. Well, you guys, I've got a pretty big concern here. Like, it's hard to believe how heavy these shakes are. I mean, mind you, you know, everything's been sitting, soaking in the rain, and it's twice as heavy as it should be, but there's probably over 200 pounds of shakes. It's nice and sturdy. But this pole, the one here, is only maybe 1 inch at the top, 2.5 inches wide. If it breaks, this whole thing's gonna collapse on the one side. I can't take a chance. I'd rather duck underneath this little board. Like, tremendous amount of weight on that thing. I'll just cut these off with the saw. I'll just have to duck under, but makes me feel better having that brace there. It does. That's a nice one. Put these in the sun and show you the beautiful purples and grains in this wood. It's just gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Look at that. I think before I put any more shakes on this, I better get it in place because it's going to get pretty heavy to get up there. Kind of staying, but I want to go to this main pole and tie it like a hinge. Well, I'll see what I gotta do, maybe. Okay, now I can probably get it where I want it. There we go. There. Cut shakes for an hour, and then in about 20 minutes I've used them up. But I'm getting there to the point where I don't need a lot more. I gotta fill in here, but we're getting there. The main shelter is finished, okay? I still got to do this triangle piece. Now, this is the cool thing. I found a board here that I think is going to fit right. And if it's sunny like it is now, mind you, I just want some shade. But it is heavy though, mind you, to get up. Now I got my ocean view, and you know what? Even on an angle like this, it's gonna be good in heavy rain. But if it's windy as can be and it's blowing it in, then I can shut it completely. That's what I like about this. That's been a lot of work, I'm telling you, on this shelter. But I still got an end piece, and then I'm ready to make my bed and get moved into here. I like that side that lifts up and down. Like, that's just going to be an awesome feature if it's nice weather like it is now. Things are actually coming along, and I'm actually really enjoying this adventure, and it's going to be once I start foraging. I know you guys want to see some foraging from the ocean when I get the raft, and the plants, they're out. Right now, I got to take advantage of the fact that it's sunny out, get some moss for my bed, get it drying out. This moss is all wet. It's been raining a lot, and it's so damp. And the other thing is my wrist. Man, is my hand and wrist ever sore from pounding with that rock, whether it's nails or shakes. My wrist just can't take it right now. Like, it's really not doing well. Show you 3 different types of moss that I use for bedding. But let's get some moss. This is beautiful moss on these rocks. I'm going to talk about it once I collect some and look for a couple of different types. There's hundreds of varieties of mosses. Like, even with sphagnum moss, there's several varieties, red, green, different types of sphagnum. Am I ever looking forward to getting in to the shelter, even when it's raining hard, so you can see how efficient the shelter will be. This is the most work I've ever put into a shelter, I think, because it's a lean-to style. Usually I would just use one roof against big trees, but I didn't have that at the location. So, you know, sometimes you just have to work with what you have, not wish you had something better. Let's get some moss and do something easy. It's like a 70s hairdo. I'm not going to take all of the moss off this rock. I mean, I want it to keep growing. But I sure appreciate when I find pieces like this that can just peel off. The good thing is, if you find where it covers a rock, it's not going to have a lot of debris in it like it would if it's on the ground. This is a nice piece. And I really want a comfortable bed, you guys. Look at that chunk. Look at that. It's just like a carpet. And I'll just roll that up. That's like a 6-foot long piece. Just roll it up. And this moss will continue to grow and go back into this little bit of dirt area that's on the rock. So little ferns growing here too. We'll just leave that now. Get some off of this guy. The most common moss that I found collecting my bedding material is this here, and it's called stair step moss. And you can see, looks like a staircase. One layer steps up next and kind of shifts over. I also found feather moss, and also found reindeer moss mixed in with my step moss. And then finally I found broom moss. Okay, you see the little things sticking out. That's the spore seeds at the top of those little spines there. But this is actually probably the best. It's really compact and spongy, but it comes back easily. It's better than the other type mosses, but it's more rare to find, so it's not the majority of what I collected, definitely, but I still got lots of moss for the bed. Okay, so I quickly put together a little A-frame to protect my sides if it gets windy. Basically, I'm going to shake it, obviously. And then it's just going to hang at the ends. And if it's really windy and this is blowing around, I'll just tie it to the main post. Protection from the wind and the side rains if it's windy. If it's not windy, I don't even need this. But if I don't build it, and then I need it, that wouldn't be nice. That piece is slapped together. Now, as you can see, I know somebody's going to say, well, that doesn't look very nice. No, of course it doesn't. But as long as it does its job, that's the main thing. Now, there's one other thing I'm going to do. Okay, now on this side, my main side, there's big gaps on the sides. It could blow in from there. I'm going to take some moss, same stuff I'm using for my bedding eventually, and we're just going to stuff it like that. That's all we have to do on the ends. So I had quite a few spots I did on the back side here, just because there were such big gaps in spots. But then over here I only had like 4 spots. Well, I cut another log here, and I'm going to see my other logs, they only went out that far. That's about where I need these logs. So I'm going to try to manhandle a few into place, get them tied together, and that's pretty much about my launching point. It's heavy, but I think I can do it. Maybe not. Lift one end. There's a lot of rocks in the way too. I'll get it. So I am waiting for the tide to come up within a bit here. The problem I'm having is I got to get this raft. I've got half done. I need probably 3 more logs. Every time the high tide comes, it pushes the raft back in, and then it's grounded again. I want to put an anchor on the one end so it doesn't come in all the way, so I can use it even in lower tides. And there's no way of moving that. Like, it weighs probably 700 pounds just with the 3 logs. So if I get 3 more, we're looking at like, you know, like 1,500, 2,000 pounds, who knows. I can't move it by hand. There's a channel right here that I want to get it into. I'll get that tied up. There's still no way of moving it. I mean, the back is just starting to get in the water now, and it's not even floating yet. Like, it's still on the rocks. Unless the water is at this end, the back is not going to be floating. Well, I'm ready to move into my shelter for the next 3 days or so. I just got to build my bed. I've got my moss. I'm ready to go. Still working on the raft. It's giving me a lot of problems, but other than that, let's get our bed made, fire pit, and we're ready for night number 1. And then we got to start foraging, so that'll be cool. I'm going to take the end off for now and prop my side up. I decided, because I have some garbage bags, to leave my moss, because it's still kind of damp, in the garbage bags. First of all, it keeps it like more spongy. It holds its you know, sponginess. I don't know what other terminology I could use. Far better. Keeps the moisture off you, keeps the bugs off you. So this is one of my bags of moss. So push down on it, and it only goes so far. Like, this is going to support me all night, okay? And then when I lift off, it springs back up. You see that? It's far better than having just a layer of moss. It usually compacts and then it just stays. It doesn't come back like this. Build my bed up on top of these 2 logs. I've got lots of flat, straight pieces all over the place. I'm going to nail some of these probably. And just get this all covered. I'm probably going to sleep on a diagonal because it's not very wide. The shelter itself is only about 5.5 feet. Regardless, the ones I have to nail, I will. I'm getting there. I don't need a lot more. These flat posts, I'm going to put 2 side logs to hold about the width of my bags of moss to keep them from rolling all over the place or sliding out from under me. It's pretty solid as it is. I don't think I have to do anything. Let's see if my bags are going to fit properly. Depends on which way I want to put them. I'd like to go that way. So I'll start with them sideways up there, and then I might have to switch and go the other way. It's going to work nice, people. It's going to work nice. If it's not raining and I can stretch out more, is build this up on this end. Then I have more length for my feet. Okay, I think if I put this big block on an angle right there, it'll hold this post. Perfect. Just want to see if the awning will still go down. I think it will. Oh, yeah. There we go. I had it in the channel here, kind of like right here. Now it decided to go way up here. The problem is that the high tide is like at 2, 3 in the morning. So I got to get it anchored out lower if I'm going to be able to use this. I mean, this is not working. Every time I get the logs where I kind of want them, the high tide in the middle of the night comes in, pushes them right up too high for the tide. The tide during the day, which is like 3 in the afternoon, and compared to 1 or 2 in the morning, is higher. It's just not working. I got to get it out further during the high tide in the middle of the night. I've got ratchet straps in the truck. Now, why don't I just go get some ratchet straps and never mind playing around with these ropes that keep stretching. You know, try to pull these logs closer together. Definitely a lot more solid now. Oh, I had the camera just leaning there, so I pulled it off when I was ratcheting. And again, well, that's pretty tight. I decided to string my bungees out. It took all 3 to get down to this rock here. And I hope that rock is heavier than the 3 logs. It should be. We'll see what happens, I guess. See if it's going to move or not. No guarantees. These are not very big ratchet straps. I don't think it's going to move them. Well, I see movement, but I've got a really big boulder on that one side that's creating issues. I'll see what I can do about that, maybe. Well, I got this log under here. Obviously, I'm going to pull one end at a time. I'm hoping it'll slide up on these logs. And I'll have to put a log on that side again, but I don't know if they'll hold out. Whew. Moved it a little bit. There she goes. Okay, now it's sitting on the rock. Now I better move the camera or it'll knock it over. Okay, well, one more thing I decided to do, even though I got the ratchet strap, if it gets high enough and drifts out, it could pull the ratchet strap off the rock. So I decided to put my anchor rock close to it. So then, got a situation where the ratchet strap comes off, at least it's got an anchor on it. Okay, well, I had to go back to the truck and get some bigger ratchet straps. So I'm having trouble moving it with these little ones. Now I got some power to this, and hopefully that'll work. I got to get this thing another 10 feet down. But these can pull like 2,000 pounds, and it's moving pretty easy, and I'm not having to really work at it. Oh, something happened. Probably broke one of the blue ones. This is the one that I have the bent arm on, so it didn't hold. Just gotta pull one side at a time here. That's, I mean, I moved it like 2 feet now. On the one side. Okay, well, I'm getting there, but it's a slow procedure with the ratchet straps, but the big ones are working. I moved it probably 15 or 16 feet. I got another ratchet strap against this big rock over here. I put another one here, and if I can get it right in this channel, then I'm good to go if I can keep it here with my anchor. And then I got to add some more logs to it. It's coming. I'm inching my way forward. Well, I got the raft as far as I can get it. I don't have an anchor point that's suitable, but it should float where it is. I'm gonna get this other log on it. The tide's coming up, so I'm limited how much more work I can actually get done on it. But we're gonna get this thing to work. You know, I don't like failure. And I mean, I need 4 more logs, I figure. More top log. These are a lot easier. Trouble with it. Oh. Yesterday I managed to get it where it was sitting sideways right here where I wanted. I guess the good thing is now it's at least sitting the right way. This is kind of the direction I want it, but I want it way down in this channel here where the big rock is. Like, that's where I want it. My last long log to put on. And then I need one more short one and then build a platform on top. This rock's going to be in my way, I can tell. I think this is my last log. I feel like those guys on Gilligan's Island can't get the raft out. Yeah, this is all bent. The teeth aren't sticking in there anymore. It's just, oh look, whole thing came apart now. This is the one rock I was using the other day to get it down this 20 feet or so. Stand on the log. When it goes, it might just go, so I gotta watch it. As long as the ratchet strap doesn't break. But the rock just keeps pulling too. Man, this thing must weigh like 2,000 pounds. Try from that end. I wonder how long it's going to actually take to get this thing in the ocean. You know what they say, where there's a will, there's a way. You can't even move this thing. You gotta watch everything you do in the bush, you know, by yourself. I think that's almost as far as I can get it. But it's down 3 feet from what it was. It should float here. The raft did float out now. It's a bit higher tide, not total high tide, but I've got it tied up. It's out there, but I see a problem with it. The 3 logs on top are obviously too heavy for the bottom 4. And so what's happening is it's just sinking them. I think I'm gonna have to just probably add a couple more to the 4 and build a platform on that, because it's you know, it's a lot more weight than I am. I'm gonna roll these logs to the sides, hopefully make it more stable. But I can only do so much as far as trying to get this to float. And then we'll build our platform. And hopefully this time it's stable and floats proper. Well, I mean, it seems to be floating. I'm ready for my first night in the shelter. I like this shelter, and guess what? It is starting to rain. It started raining about half an hour ago. It's just a light rain, but I can see it's dry in here, and I'm going to show you. The shakes are wet. I don't see any dripping anywhere. I mean, I would like it to rain harder tonight than this, which it looks like it's going to. That raft, basically, man, I've been struggling with that raft though. Think it's going to work so that maybe I can get some crab or prawn. I'm hoping for that. But I'm still going to eat. I got my coffee. I'm too beat to eat tonight. I'm going to feed Finn and head to bed. It's actually almost dark, even though this camera has such good lighting. I even saved a bit of moss for Finn for right here. We'll get that ready and head to bed. It's been a long, hard couple of days building the shelter and working on the raft for sure. I'm going to get the bed set up. I did bring my sleeping bag as well. Make his bed right here. He'll be good just like that. Let's see if he likes his bed. Finn, come. Here, look, I made a bed for you. Don't worry, I'm going to feed you in a minute. Get up here. Up here. Up. Get up. Come on, up here. Come on. He doesn't understand. Up. Get up there. Hey, get up there. There you go. Well, at least now he knows where it is. You see the water. Like I say, it's not torrential rain or anything. But my shakes are all wet on the outside. And all dry on the inside. And I don't see any dripping yet. I don't even think the ridgepole is going to drip the way I designed it. How come you're sitting out in the rain? Why don't you come in the shelter? Come in here. Good boy. You can see my raft out there. It's floating, but it just never wants to stay in place, even with my anchor. There it is. Yeah. And that moss is nice too. See, now you can see it's starting to get dark. It's just about pitch black out now. You can tell even on the camera it's getting darker. See if we can get Finn. I better keep my boots under here. Hey, Fins. Oh, yeah, that's your bed there. Lie down. Lie down. That's your bed. Yeah. Oh, this isn't bad. Attaboy, Fins. Okay. Yeah, it would have been a lot quicker to use skunk cabbage leaves, but I've done that before a couple times, and this is something I haven't done. Build a shake lean-to, and it's going to be just fine. Right, Finn? Bet. Let's go to sleep. You're all wet. You'll dry out. It is morning. Sun is just coming up. That was comfortable. It did rain a bit, but not very much. So we haven't really been able to give this an honest test yet. I see Finn's out in the sun, sunning himself, and the raft stayed in place. Okay, that's good. Maybe today I can get it. I gotta follow the tide out, like get the platform built and then push it out when the tide goes so I can use it, and then moor it somewhere where it's easier access to get on it. It's a good thing I brought my hat. But we will have coffee and then make sure the raft doesn't get grounded as the tide goes out. Hey, Finn, morning. Morning, Finn. He must have snuck out as soon as the sun came up to warm up. Okay, we'll get the day underway. Now I'll just use a lighter, some dry twigs, see if we can have success. It was raining, but I got these over there under a big tree. think. Well, I sure am glad that raft stayed and didn't come back up on shore this time. Finn's out chasing the crows. It's gonna go. Already? A stick first thing in the morning, Finn? First thing, eh? I know, you just want to play. To go get water, it's not too far. There's a creek coming in over here, as long as it's not all salt water. Might have to go upstream or what? Looks like it. It's probably salt water, most of it. I wouldn't doubt if this is salt water too. Trick is getting the pot to stay somewhere. You know, coffee, I love my coffee. Once I get the platform done, we're gonna go foraging. Want to get some plants to have with my steak today. Should be a good day. The days are long, you can get a lot done. That's hot. I'll let that cool for a minute. So, that's the plan. Some foraging, finish the raft. Day 2 in the shelter. I'm ready to make this platform and hopefully high tide again this evening. Now that depends on the weather. Like, I'll tell you, there's 2 things I'm not gonna do. If it's really choppy, I'm not gonna go out. And the other thing I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna go set sail as the tide's going out, because I don't know. This thing is very heavy, and I imagine with just an oar, not gonna move very easy for me. So I'm not gonna go out with a receding tide and find out the current is just gonna take me down the channel somewhere. If it's coming in, at least I know I'll get pushed to shore, not drug out into the inlet. So I've actually got it probably 100 feet, maybe even more than 100 feet from originally where I had the 3 logs and started off, and it kept coming up on shore and ratcheting, ratchet straps, pulling it back into the channel here. But this is low tide now. We've got it where we can use it now. Like I say, I'm gonna leave this one 2x6 that I found extended so I can get, if it's sideways, I can get to the rocks. This one, that anchor will be in my way too. I'm gonna have to cut this guy. Okay, I'll probably put one more. Platform's done. Gonna put an anchor out here so it doesn't drift in again. And we're ready to go for tonight. But this will be a good paddle, and it's nice and long. Like it's like, oh, at least 7 feet long. I need something long if I'm in the middle of the raft. It might be wide enough. It's a little heavy, but it's split. Like it's ready to break in half. So I'm going to tie it up at the top here. And then I'm going to put a couple of scrap pieces of my shakes I have left over from the shelter at the bottom. I'm just carving this handle up a bit. I took the saw and cut a bit into it. And I don't want to get slivers either, so just carve it up. Make it nice where I can grab it good. Okay, I think that's good. Ready to go. We are actually heading out. I just about lost the tide again. But we got to get this thing out. It's not too rough. Got my crab trap, my bait. Hey, I got my bait in. I put a little rock there. Now, I'm not far from shore, but I don't want to go way out. And I don't think I have enough rope if I go too far. But let's get this trap in. I'm already drifting. There's my boy. Just this little bit of breeze. Boy, just setting the trap was hard. It's a little choppy out there. So it's no wonder I was drifting away trying to set the trap. Okay, mission successful. Let's go and get some plants. That's what I say. Just I'm out foraging, and I found what I was kind of looking for. The sword fern are just starting to get fiddleheads. So I wanted to talk to you about them a bit more. I mean, they get long, they're fuzzy as can be. Here's a couple of real small ones that were just starting. And there's a bracken. And the bracken just gets 2 branches on it with 1 stem in the middle. Just the 3 branches, that's it. Both of these are toxic, like I say. Don't eat either one of them. 19 varieties of the sword fern. There's 1 variety that you can eat the tubers on, and it's called tuberous sword fern. It's actually from the Himalayas and Nepal area. 1933, I think it was, they found it in Florida. And it kind of took over the native fern species there. Like they do have the Boston fern, which is a sword fern. They have an Asian fern, which again was introduced. And it gets little potato-like growths, about the size of a dime or a quarter even, on the roots and near the base of the plant, okay? And you can eat those raw, cook them like potatoes, or if you roast them, you can grind it into a coffee substitute. Now, I haven't tried this, but I'm just telling you I do know about it. And they say that it smells and tastes like coffee. But that's the only part of any of the sword fern that you can actually eat is the 1 variety, the tuberous. And even the tuberous, the fiddleheads are not edible. So I'll spend the rest of the day just foraging plants, and let's see what we can find. Right on. This is called false lily of the valley. The leaves get quite large. Sometimes they tend to be a little pointy. Sometimes as they get older they're completely round, but they always have these 2 big lobes at the back where it joins the stem of the leaf here, you see. Later it will get, this one's just starting to get a flower stalk. You can see in the middle there. It is an edible plant. You may find some controversy about that, but when the shoots first come up, the leaves are curled like this. I like them. And these shoots you can cook like asparagus. The berries are edible too, but they don't taste very good. I mean, I've tried them, they're not. Don't expect they're going to be like huckleberries or blueberries or anything like that. Very plain and bland. They're good in salads, but a lot of articles are going to say that they're toxic. Now, don't confuse this with lily of the valley. So this is false lily of the valley, edible. Lily of the valley, highly toxic. But it doesn't have on the leaves, it does have the big veins in the leaves, but it looks more like I don't have one here to give you an example side by side, but later in the season when I find them, they're generally in different areas. But they have a leaf with veins as well, but it looks more like a plantain leaf, okay? Pointed, long, slender. Star-shaped flowers on the false, lily of the valley. Bell-shaped, kind of a pinkish white flower in pairs all the way up the stem on lily of the valley. And these two plants aren't even related. They're two separate genus of plant. The false lily of the valley here, it likes shady, moist areas, and lily of the valley likes more sunny, drier areas. So you're not likely to find the two in the same locale. So there's another little thing for you to research. You're going to find some controversy when you're doing some research, but I eat them, and I find they're quite good. But don't mistake it for lily of the valley. That is highly toxic. Okay, well, we will go out and check the trap. It's fairly calm. Hopefully we have something. If not, we'll put it back down, I suppose. Okay, let's get out there on the raft. Get the anchor. It's pretty heavy. Seems to be hooked on something. Yeah, it's hooked on one of my straps. It's not easy. Got a bag. Put the shrimp in if there's any. Got the boy. Pull this up and see what we got. Okay. Reveal time. I don't see anything. Nothing. Oh, that's disappointing. Yeah, throw it back out. Okay, well, I came up into a sunnier area. This is more kind of what I'm after here, is root plants at this point. I don't know how hard this will be to get out. These are first year bull thistle, and the roots are pretty good on them. Pretty prickly, aggressive thorns for sure. I can get at the base, then I can get it out, but I'm fighting with other prickles like these trailing blackberries too. There we go. Nice young. I'm having troubles here on this hill, aren't I? Nice young. I'm gonna get a few of these. These are pretty good. Now, thistle is a good plant to know, because obviously they're worldwide, pretty common, and all thistles and all parts of the thistles are edible. Good one to know. I'm glad I'm collecting bull thistle, because you know, like now with say like the, you know, these tariffs, economic fighting, I mean, it's good it's not a Russian thistle, or I'd only be able to eat 75% of the root. Now, because I've got a bull thistle, I can eat the whole thing. Might be able to just pull this guy with my hands even. Kind of small. Not much root on this. I gotta find some bigger ones. Now, depending on the variety, some are sweeter and better than others. It's like a celery, and some of them are like a sweet celery, good tasting celery. This one, a little on the bitter side. They even have the little hairs like you find on celery. You can never know all the plants. I mean, there's like 350,000 types of plants. And then some of those plants have hundreds, even thousands of varieties within that species. So who could ever know all their plants? I mean, every time I go to other countries, I always try to buy a plant book and research these plants in other countries, like when I was in Hawaii and when I go to Australia, and figure out what these plants are, because it's just something that's always fascinated me. If I stand corrected about the thistles, if you know of a thistle that's toxic in any way, let me know. Leave a comment if you actually know of one. I don't. So I'm just saying it's a good one to know. Easy to identify. We all know what thistles are, and they're actually pretty good eating. That's going to go good with my steaks, those roots. And there is some trilliums. These ones are white. I like these nature walks. There's quite a few along here. And then down here, there's the one that's kind of a purple. Pinkish purple. But apparently, they took them off the protection list in 2002. So I guess now you can pick them and put them in a vase. Pretty flower, but they are toxic. All parts of them are toxic. This is Queen Anne lace, or wild carrot. It's not in flower right now, but, oh yeah, there we go. I'm going to collect a few of those. These nice tender roots, that's what I'm after. And if you scrape it, it smells just like domestic carrot. That's how you know the difference between hemlock or any of the hemlocks from wild carrot when they're young before the flowers. But it looks like carrot leaves, okay? Well, you can see that the raft came way inland again, even with the anchor, but that's okay. I think it's okay where it is next high tide. I'm gonna get my roots cleaned up. We got a fire going and have something good to eat. I got a couple of first year carrot, and it looks like all of my thistle is first year, okay? But then this will be a second year Queen Anne lace, okay, wild carrot, because it's got the multiple tap roots. They only live for 2 years. First year they'll get a single tap root, and then when they get like this, I mean, I'm still going to cook it up because I think these will be fine. Camera. Well, I'll just do this one with the ferro rod since it's been sunny. Should be no problems. Almost. Oh, you got the firewood, thanks. Well, you can have that. Get this rock in the middle. Build the fire around it. My pot can go in there. And my steak for later. Build that up a bit. Just looking at my steak here. It's I had it in this Tupperware in the creek. She's gone a little green. But I don't know, that probably makes it more tender. It's on the verge of going bad, but I don't know if you can see the green on it. I think it's okay. I might just trim a little bit of the edges where it's the greenest. Especially there, it's pretty green. Well, maybe being sealed in that container in the creek wasn't the best. Well, I think these are done. That handle's going to be hot. Get that off. The rock should be hot for my steak now. I can probably take it right off the fire even. And then after I eat, I can sit by the fire for a while. Sun is going down. You can see it on the top of the mountain over there. It's going to be dark soon, but I'll give you my honest opinion, and then we'll cook the steak and sit by the fire for a bit. We'll let that cool down and dump it because the handle's pretty hot. Let's give this a try. And try a piece of the thistle root first. Now this is bull thistle. It's cooked right. A little woody on the inside, to be honest. It certainly peels easy now that it's cooked. I'm glad I left the skin on it. Try a piece of the skin. Actually, the skin is better and not woody. What does it taste like? That's what I would be keeping, is the outer layer. It's good I didn't peel it. This inner core is a bit woody. As far as a taste, well, I can't really think of anything that really tastes like it. It's not bad, but I can't really describe the taste of it. Certainly a good survival food, though. Let's try the carrot. Try a piece of the Queen Anne lace. Once I finish chewing on this, it's a bit woody. I think I got a flavor. It's kind of like bitter celery. And remember I was saying, like, when I was eating those raw stems, that it was like celery? Okay, I think I put my finger on it. It is like a bitter celery. Our Queen Anne lace wild carrot. The outside is cooked perfect. That's good. The outer layer of that, man, that tastes just like domestic carrots from your garden. That's good. But again, in the middle, pretty woody. It's the outside layer that was the best. Now, let's see this second year plant with all these other roots off the tap root here. See if they're any good. It's good to know these things if you're in a survival situation. Those carrots, just like carrots. Oh man, that's even better. These small ones off the side of this big taproot, very tender. I boiled it for quite a while, mind you, okay, 40 minutes. Oh yeah, those are nice and tender. No woody part in the middle on these side roots. That's really good. Again, just like carrot, and like a good carrot. Man. Excellent. So, the carrots actually win this competition. Thistle root was kind of like a bitter celery. This is like garden carrots. I'll eat these up, probably mostly the carrots, and get our steak going. That's really good. Well, that's out of the heat here a bit. Doesn't fall apart. Yeah, it's pretty hot. I'm gonna put this on the stump. I'm gonna let the rock cool a bit, you guys, because it's very, very hot and it's just gonna burn my steak. It's too hot for my liking. Let it cool for a while. Take it out of the heat. Give it 15 minutes or so. Still sizzling, but not as bad as it was. I think that'll work. There. Let it cool for a minute. Yeah, it's nice that the weather's been good, but I gotta stay till it rains, because, well, this is night number 2 in here. It looks like it could rain, to be honest. That would be great to give our old shelter a test. See, it's funny how the smoke follows you, eh? Okay, let's see. Of course, Finn will have to have some. Hopefully it doesn't taste rancid. If it does, I guess Finn's getting it. Nope. That's good. Cooked just right. That is cooked pretty good. Little bit of pink in the middle. Half for Finn, half for me. Come over here. Gentle. Over here. Good boy. That's your half. It's gone already. Or now it is. You like that, eh? Wasn't super keen on the thistle root this time, but survival food for sure. Just gonna sit by the fire after I have my steak here and relax. It's nice to be able to relax now that I got the projects all done, like the raft and the shelter. It's been a neat adventure. I actually got a lot accomplished. I'm pretty proud I stuck with the raft even though it wasn't going good. Things don't always go good. I was thinking, you know, I read this story about these two brothers, and they were out, this is last fall in the US somewhere. They thought that they were picking Queen Anne lace or wild carrots. Turned out to be poison hemlock, okay? Now, the one brother died. The other one actually survived because he didn't actually eat it. He tasted it and spit it out and still got sick and hospitalized, okay? But that's how toxic water hemlock is. But I don't quite understand it because Queen Anne lace looks nothing. It's not even similar in appearance to water hemlock or poison hemlock or spotted hemlock. I mean, you can see that the Queen Anne lace has like carrot looking leaves, whereas like any of the hemlocks have like a stem with opposite leaves all the way up, and then a pointed leaf at the end, and bigger leaves, like nothing like the small lace-like leaves of carrot. So I don't know how this happens. Now I don't know what it tastes like, because I wouldn't even put it in my mouth. I mean, you'd get sick by just putting a piece of it in your mouth, so why would you do that? But anyway, one brother died, one survived. Another thing I was thinking here is, you know, after this video I should auction off my knife. You know, I mean, it comes with a handle, you know. I'll auction it off to the highest bidder. Anyway, it's kind of a joke. I'm ready for bed, so we'll see you in the morning. I'm just going to turn the camera off and go to bed. Tomorrow's another day, day 3. We've been doing a lot of stuff, building a lot of stuff, a lot of setbacks. We'll carry on with the videos, and I'm going to do a lot more foraging this summer and actually do some cooking and everything else with some of the wild plants, because there is some good plants for sure. Not that there was anything wrong with the ones I had tonight. The carrots were awesome. A little bit tough and woody and bitter, the thistle root was, but we'll find some better plants and do some more foraging this summer. Alright, we'll see you guys in the morning. It is just starting to get light, and it's going to be another sunny day, but just wanted to show you now that it's light enough to get some video that the water is right here, and it came up right in to my fire pit. Use the light. There's a chunk of my firewood that was floating. I thought I heard something, new piece of wood right here, and it was hitting the log here. So it's really good that I actually built this platform, because it was right in here, right into where the shelter is. So I guess a little higher tide than that, and I would have had to retreat, head into the bush further. I guess this shelter is probably a little too close when there's high tides like this, because it was right up into my shelter. But good thing I had the platform, or I would have been soaked sleeping on the ground. That 1.5 feet is what saved me from getting soaked. So I just wanted to show you, a lot of these logs floated in last night. They weren't here before. A lot of new logs up here on the beach. These are all new. All these logs. These two up here, new. And the raft is up on land again. I don't know why. I'm gonna go check and see. There's a lot of shooting stars. They're so pretty. And so is Finn. It's starting to get windy. Looks like it might even rain. It was looked like it was going to be beautiful sun earlier, but now it's windy, and the raft is up here on land again, and I'm down here by the water, and I wanted to go out. I mean, the raft is grounded now, And I'm thinking, well, why is the raft way up on land again? But the rope to the anchor broke off. I'll show you that in a second here. I'm looking for my crab buoy, boy, whatever you want to call it, and it's gone. So it doesn't look like I even need the raft. I mean, I don't even see it. So there, that was my anchor rock. The rope just broke. I'll untie, I'll take that with me. Don't want to leave garbage. And then the raft ended up way over there. I still had it tied to a rock, so it didn't go anywhere. So I had it tied to this rock, and thus it actually did stay. Didn't float off in the channel, at least. You like the raft, Finn? Doesn't look like we're gonna need the raft anymore, since the crab trap is not there. So the responsible thing for me to do, to make sure that I dismantle the raft, the individual logs will just float up on the shore here with these other ones that just showed up last night, instead of having it float out in a big group of logs. Could be a hazard for boaters and things like that, so I don't want to do that. It doesn't look like we're going to need it. So what happened to the trap? So only three things that could have happened. Like I say, did another fisherman take it? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I met so many good people around here, and it's just so doubtful. Now, could it have floated away in the current? I doubt that as well, because I had a heavy rock in the trap, and when I set it, I left like 10 feet of extra line for high tides. Neither one of those scenarios seems to fit the bill. But the other night, one thing I did see was a seal cruising up and down the shore. Now, my trap wasn't in a lot of water, like maybe 70 feet of water. Some of these traps that are out here, you know, are in like 250 feet of water. Now, also, it wasn't a metal trap. It was nylon mesh, as you could see in the video. I think a seal grabbed it, took it somewhere, and tore into it to either get the bait or whatever was in it. That's the best guess I have, because I know they will tear into traps that they can actually break into. And he was cruising up and down, probably eyeing my trap out. So that's what I suspect happened. So anyway, I got to dismantle the raft. You know, we spent 2 nights. I've been waiting for rain. You did see that it rained a little bit, and the shelter was working fine. But if the shelter stays here, I might come back when they're predicting some heavy rains. I got to get on with other videos as well. But I got to dismantle the raft. It's too bad. No seafood on this one, I guess. I think this ocean water's affected it. There we go. It's all full of weeds and I didn't even seem to notice that the camera fell. Okay, well, she's all cut apart. I'll move some of the logs. Yeah, this thing's broken anyway. Just got to get all this rope and stuff off, and then these logs can float up to where the other driftwood is. Tide is coming in. Okay, well, it's all ready to float back into shore, and now it is raining. But I'm packed up, I'm ready to go. I was waiting all this time for the rain, and it is raining now. But I don't see it leaking in the shelter, but I gotta get on with other adventures. I'm gonna explain something in a minute here. Gotta take the fern, or the moss bed, not fern, moss bed out of the bags, clean up any little bit of garbage, and get on with other adventures. Yeah, this moss was pretty comfortable. Take the garbage bags and I'll leave the moss here in case somebody actually wants to use this bed. You never know. And if the shelter doesn't get flooded out and is still here in the future, then maybe I can use it in a harder rain. Well, that was actually a lot of fun. A lot of work, but a lot of fun. I thank you all for watching. You know, like I say, I might come back and stay in this if it doesn't get smashed down by the high tides. But it is raining out, and I still don't see any dripping on the outside, and it's wet on the outside. So it would have been just fine in a heavy rain as well. I know it would have been. But maybe next time, if it's still here, we can try that out. I want to thank you all for watching, especially you subscribers. Another thing I was going to say is within about a month from now, I'm going to do a video with Steve Wallace from Camping with Steve. Big channel. I've watched a lot of his videos, very interesting stealth camping. I'm sure a lot of you know who he is. And we're going to do some stuff together in the very near future. So keep an eye out for that. Keep the bell on so you don't miss the notifications. And we will see you on the next one. It was a blast. Right on.
Nice setup you got here, man. I was just walking by and noticed your GoPro and all your stuff, and just wanted to say hi. And hope you enjoyed camping out here last night. Looks like a nice spot. Peace, take care.